Greetings and welcome to the Prime Directive. I'm your host Jefficho, my co-host is always Chris. Say hi, Chris.
Hello.
Who else is joining us today?
Today we have Frodo.
We're going to do a rundown of Episode 5, Choose Your Pain. So Chris, Burnham has a nightmare, and then she tries to convince Stamets not to use the tardigrade anymore.
Why are you with her?
Burnham is worried about the physical effects that Discovery's jumps are having on the tardigrade.
Yeah, I think most of this episode we're seeing a lot of the payoff of what they were talking about, being able to do with this sort of long-form storytelling. This is sort of the third episode in this tardigrade arc, I guess you want to call it. And we started off a lot more, grim, dark, depressing things happening, and there was a lot of pushback from fans. But now with this episode, we've sort of gotten into the more positive, utopian Federation problem-solving bit of it.
What are you doing with your mouth?
I am swallowing the urge to set the record straight.
Do you want to be right, or do you want to fix this?
Where we're getting a lot more Trek philosophy and a lot more Trek feeling kind of an episode.
Yeah, a lot more science babble going on.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoyed Lorca with his little war council there.
Yeah, that was fun.
With respect to the war effort, the fleet will pick up the slack caused by your absence.
That's a lot of slack.
Leave it to Lorca to sass a room full of admirals.
Well, we learned that Lorca's got a pretty solid friend with that one admiral,
Mm-hmm.
and that he could get his eyes fixed.
Yeah, well, I think he sort of said as much in the first episode. He was like he said something about how he could fix it, but he chose not to.
Yeah, the doctor said he had to keep like a low level of light so he could keep his eyes.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe they'll Geordie him, give him a visor.
Yeah, maybe.
What do you think about his ship getting randomly just taken by a Klingon? His little shuttle there. They just showed up out of nowhere.
Yeah, like where the hell was this base?
Yeah.
Like were they just right on the edge of Klingon space, I guess?
Maybe. I don't know. I thought it was funny that the computer's telling you everything like...
Klingon, Class D7, battlecruiser identified. Tractor beam engaged.
Should the guy piloting be like shouting this?
Mm-hmm. They name-dropped a D7, which is, the really long neck one, with sort of the mouth that shoots the torpedoes out of it. But they didn't show us a ship that really looked like that.
So I said it before, but I'm not so sure Saru should be in command. He's rating himself against other captains and all the qualities that they have.
Characteristics most often cited include bravery, self-sacrifice, intelligence, tactical brilliance, compassion.
That was a nice list of captains, though. Good to see Archer's name up there.
Oh my goodness, the continuity. So we got Robert April confirmed as actually being in canon. He was just mentioned in the animated series, The Counterclock Incident. It seems like we've had a lot of animated series drops so far.
Maybe the writers are a bigger fan of the animated series than the original.
Than anyone else, yeah. There's some good nuggets in there, but yeah. And of course, yeah, like you said, we got Jonathan Archer, we got Christopher Pike, and Commodore Decker.
Yeah. You know my feelings on Decker. Guy can't handle a giant cigar in space.
I told you I am in command here, and I will give the orders, Captain. We are going to turn and attack.
Not with my ship, you don't. Mr. Spock, relieve Commodore Decker immediately.
Christopher Pike, he's really only just begun, hasn't he? He's probably got the Enterprise by now. It's 10 years before.
Yeah, that should be on Pike.
But
I guess you wouldn't give the Enterprise to someone that wasn't highly decorated. But still, I like how more than half of that list is just Enterprise captains.
Yeah.
There's also a bit of recency bias going on there. It's just Archer and then a bunch of contemporaries.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, they highlighted Georgiou.
Mm-hmm. You seem conspicuously free from bruises.
Don't judge. You're going to want to stick with me. I'm a survivor.
So Lorca gets captured, thrown in a Klingon prison, and we meet Harry Mudd.
Yeah, I'm really liking the portrayal by Rainn Wilson here. I think he's doing a great job with that character.
Yeah, he did a really good job. I like the name drop of his wife Stella and everything.
Yeah. I think he doesn't have to worry. He'll be seeing her again, fairly soon.
Multiple versions of her, maybe 10 to 12 years.
Yep.
Hardcore Fenton Mudd, what have you been up to? Have you been drinking again? You answer me.
Shut up.
Keep the timeline intact. What do you think about Choose Your Pain games?
Yeah, they said that was to keep them from bonding, or at least that was their guess. I don't know. It feels like you put enough of them into a room and then they all bond and just pick the one guy.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was exactly what the Klingons were going for.
It was really the end of that one, like, ensign or lieutenant or whatever rank he was.
Yeah.
Couldn't tell, no pips.
Yeah.
Captain of this ship. She's taken a liking to me.
What do you think of Lieutenant Ashe Tyler?
Oh, man, do you want to go into this now?
Sure.
The big conspiracy theory thing?
Sure, let's do it.
All right, so this is what's going around is Tyler is Vok.
Makes sense. I mean...
Does it?
She had a big plan. Laurel, she's just like, I'm going to send you somewhere and they're going to do stuff to you and it's going to hurt.
Yep, yeah, he has to sacrifice everything.
Yeah.
So turning into a human would be, especially given how gung-ho he is about this remain Klingon stuff, that is absolutely sacrifice everything.
Yeah.
We've made very sure to give us a month between the last time we saw Vok and this, because they mentioned 6 months specifically in the last episode, and then in this one, Lorca says 7.
I'm pretty sure Shazad Latif was the one that was cast as a Klingon, Klingon Commander Cole, and then they changed it.
Yep, yeah. He went from a Klingon originally to the security officer.
Yeah. Do you think maybe that was writing? You think maybe that was Brian Fuller in the beginning coming up with something, and then they came up with their own story afterwards, because he's not being credited as writer for these later episodes.
That's true. Some more things building on the little conspiracy theory here is the actor they have listed on IMDb for playing Vok has no other credits for anything else.
I actually looked up the name. There is a Canadian actor with that name, but they made sure to mention he is not the one on Discovery.
Okay. And they also only have Vok listed for 3 episodes, you were saying.
Yep.
So that, I think, lends a lot of credence to this theory.
Lieutenant Tyler's listed for all episodes.
Yeah.
And the captain you lost?
Stephen Marinville, the USS Jaeger. The finest, sir.
And even more than that, the way he was so reverently talking about his captain when he was in there with Lorca.
Yeah,
I think he's talking about Takuvma.
Yeah, metaphor there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought, I already like him.
Mm-hmm.
I like him more than Vok. But I was looking forward to seeing Shazad, and I thought, his character is kind of interesting in the fact that, it seems kind of obvious now. He was off, too, the whole time. It's
yeah, it was a little off.
Something off about you.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought it was going to be something else. But yeah, once we started piecing it together, it's
yeah. That also sort of explains the implied relationship between him and the Klingon captain.
Yeah. Yeah. You think they were fully in on it?
Some of it seems a little weird. They were the Klingon captain lady was pretty aggressive, trying to not let him escape.
Yeah.
So I don't know if she would necessarily be in on it. And they were really trying to destroy that shuttle.
Yeah. So the second the shields went down, they blew it up, and it's just maybe they didn't transport out. You never know. Yeah. So
I mean, maybe they were being really careful with it.
They had to sell it right, though.
Yep, absolutely.
And I mean, I think even if you fool Lorca, he's still suspicious of you.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think this is what the Tribble in his office is for, because he hasn't mentioned the Tribble at all. It's just sort of been there. And I think as soon as they get Tyler into that room, it's going to start going nuts. And I don't think anyone in the series knows that Tribbles and Klingons don't mix.
Yeah, well, I mean, we don't even know how he's got a Tribble because we didn't see Tribbles into the original series.
Yeah.
So he came across it somehow.
Yeah. So
he's a collector. So.
Yeah. We're going to be seeing that scene, and the Tribble's going to be losing its mind. It's going to be he's a Klingon. We know that, but no one in the show is going to pick up on it.
Well, you would think, he's just coming out of a little prison that he'd be getting a full medical from the doctor.
Yeah.
That might give some hints.
Yeah.
But, falsify records. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
But,
or this could just be, complete bullshit.
Yeah, could be, but...
I think there's too much piled on top of each other.
I just think by the way he was acting.
Yeah. Really excited to see where this goes.
I assume his master plan is to get the ship. Or at least the
spore drive.
Yeah, how to figure it out. So back on the ship with Tilly, Stamets, and Burnham, I mean, they're checking over the stuff, trying to find a replacement for the tardigrade.
Yep.
And then Tilly drops the fuck word.
Yeah, she does.
So sorry.
No, cadet. It is fucking cool.
Battlestar Galactica would have said frack.
Yeah.
But,
no, we're just doing it. My first reaction was just like pearl clutching. And I'm like, you can't say that on Star Trek. This is a family show.
The Stamets delivery of, no, you're right. Science is fucking cool.
Yeah. Was the right character, I think, to deliver it. Because Tilly just has to be socially awkward the whole time. Like, she just doesn't understand those kinds of social boundaries. And so if someone's going to drop an F-bomb on a Federation ship, it's probably going to be her.
Yeah, straight out of the Academy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I said in the beginning, like, I was expecting her to get annoying. She hasn't yet for me. So they're doing a good job of it. Like, I enjoyed her cafeteria ramblings, too.
Oh my god, you look awful.
Thank you, Tilly.
And I guess this is, if we're not having to be a family show anymore. And part of me is horrified. Part of me is interested to see where we're going to go with this.
Yeah.
Because I think for a lot of us, like real hardcore Star Trek fans, we got into this pretty young. So it's sort of unfortunate to see that this show isn't going to be something that like a new generation of fans can really get into when they're very young. Like, this isn't maybe something you want to watch with your kids, but...
Don't you know I would never say the word fuck? I would never fucking say that! Ever!
So Saru kind of forces that jump and pretty much nearly kills the tardigrade.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it was a terrible command decision. Like, there was no way they were getting Lorca back if they didn't use the jump drive.
Yeah, I think the doctor really should have, made a report to him after he did his findings.
Yeah, I wasn't quite sure why he wasn't reporting to Saru.
They're all reporting to Burnham, and Saru's seeing this, and it's pissing him off.
As it should. Really, she doesn't even have a rank.
Well, I mean, she was gonna be a captain at one point.
Yeah.
So, I mean, she kind of is more qualified than Saru.
Yeah. Mutiny aside.
Yeah, mutiny aside. We jump back and forth here, but that escape was pretty awesome.
Yeah, that was really cool. I really liked Saru figuring out what was going on. That was something that was sort of unique to him, his ability to figure that out.
Predator packs often split into smaller groups while in pursuit.
What do you think about those disruptors? They look kind of video game-ish, just blew up into nothing.
We have seen those kind of effects before, and that does feel like a pretty Klingon way to do things.
Yeah.
They've just got more destructive power than the Federation ones do, that just sort of pump a hole through you if they're on kill.
I always just remember the Romulan ones where it just kind of tears them apart and you see their faces going in agony. And...
Yeah. Extremely metal.
Yeah. They totally ditch Harry, which, kind of had it coming.
Yeah. Fair enough.
And, he vows vengeance.
Mm-hmm.
So, we're going to see him again. We already see that he talks to Michael at one point, so...
Yeah, he hasn't done his "I'm Mud" line yet that I really liked from the trailer. And I think he also was confirmed for 2 episodes.
Yeah, I could see it being more, but you never know. Everybody was worried about it, and I think he fit seamlessly into this.
The only crime I'm guilty of is loving too much. It's true, Captain.
So Chris, in the end, Stamets uses himself to pilot the ship. Saru wanted Georgiou to be his captain.
Yep.
And he still took the telescope. I thought he was going to give it back, but he took it.
Yeah, no, that's his now.
Tilly and Burnham released a Terragrade into the space.
Yep.
And it flies off. Looked like a little magical bear in space flying away. And then Stamets brushes his teeth in his PJs.
Yeah, oh my god, space toothbrush.
Yeah.
Did you notice the no bristles?
I noticed no bristles.
I think it's the same technology as the sonic shower. I think it's a sonic toothbrush.
That would make sense when we can invent that. Injecting a Terragrade DNA into him clearly did something bad, because I think it was just a delay. Anytime I see a reflection that's not supposed to be there, I think evil. Mm-hmm. But it seemed to delay, because he was staring into the mirror and he walked away, and that's what the reflection did, because it stared and then it walked away.
Yeah, so I just don't think we have enough information to go on to get really into this, but like you said, some people are pointing out that this might be, an alternate universe statements, or like it's a mirror statements, clearly. But I think the time delay thing you mentioned might end up being it, because the reflection didn't do anything particularly menacing. It did mirror him, it's just after a couple seconds.
Just creepy.
Yeah.
I remember a show called Mirrors with Keith Sutherland, where it's just like, your mirror version will always be there. It's just like, hey, why isn't he moving? That's creepy as hell.
Yeah.
It's a good concept, so I really enjoyed it in this.
Mm-hmm. And I also, I really liked Stamets' self-sacrifice at the end.
Did we make it? Yes.
That was the standard Star Trek ending that we would usually get if it was just a one-episode self-contained series, like the sort of curmudgeon-y guy learns his lesson about self-sacrifice, takes one for the team, sort of looks like he's dead, but it works out for him in the end because he made the right choice, and then we'd forget about the spore drive next week because we got to do something different. But that's clearly not gonna be what happens here. We actually have, some continuing consequences about his choice to inject himself with that DNA.
Yeah, when they came up with the concept of doing that, I totally thought Burnham was going to do it.
Yeah.
But then, confined to quarters.
Mm-hmm. Well, it does make sense, because there's no way Stamets would, turn down the opportunity to, actually interact with his fungal mycelial plane. Yeah.
He's pretty excited about that.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, the episode ends with that, and we had Lorca, who's welcoming Tyler aboard, be like, well, I get to do whatever I want, so you're now a member of my crew.
Thank you, Captain.
For what? Dragging you back into the war on a ship with a target on his back.
There's no place I'd rather be.
That's crazy, Tyler. That's crazy. It's war.
Yep.
You just got beat for 7 months.
Well, he's a Klingon.
Yeah. Yeah, well, still. I wonder if there's any adverse effects for him. I guess, we'll see little things. Maybe some genetic disorder or something.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna love when we get the whole reveal, and it's just like, here's the backstory of what Voq had to go through.
Yep. And God, I guess he is still kind of mirroring Burnham. Do you think so?
Maybe
a little bit. They both got recruited by Lorca now.
I know he's Voq, but I want him to be a good Starfleet officer.
Maybe he will. Maybe he'll just drop this whole Klingon thing. Be like, you know what? Humans are actually pretty cool.
Yeah, he'll find a mutual respect with Burnham.
Yeah.
And they'll work together to kill Cole.
Yeah.
And get the 24 houses to start following him, and then it'll be like, all right, guys, maybe war is not the answer.
Let's just chill.
Yeah. So those two could work together and solve their problems.
Yeah.
And then, Discovery can use their little spore drive to explore space, and we can get back to some real Star Trek.
With what? What are they just plugging Stamets in?
Yeah. Yeah.
They just run it. I mean, Lorca wouldn't have a problem with that. Just run through crew members, whatever.
He's gonna.
We need a fresh batch of red shirts.
Yeah. Choose your pain. Well.
Choose your pay.
This game I learned on the Klingon ship. Well, we're gonna do that here.
Yeah.
Shut up, Tilly, or else. Well, you have any final thoughts?
I think we pretty much covered everything.
All right. Well, as always, thanks for watching, and I'm sure we'll do the next episode.
All right. See ya.